Imagine if, for the first time, our heroes all lost.
I know I said no more surprises, but I was really hoping to pull off one last one. I like this one.
Hello, my fellow advocates, and welcome back to the Fan Advocacy Network. I saw the latest Avengers trailer, and it was fantastic. It really captured the essence that the last movie left you on, and it showed you these characters in a position where they are feeling the effects of what happened in Infinity War. And it's not as though it's business as usual. Every character is feeling the weight of their loss and what happened, and they're reflecting on what that loss actually means in the full scope of the world and who's lost and how they were lost, and just the weight of it is on everyone's shoulders, and you can see that, you can feel it. And I love that tone. I love the fact that you're showing the characters struggling with what they have gone through, and it's a beautiful montage of all of the different emotional ranges, how people are dealing with it. I love the way that they have Tony Stark out there. He's just shaded in this sort of haunting green in the middle of nowhere, and it's this very sad recording that he's leaving for Pepper, and it's he's thinking he could die out here, dying having been a failure, having let everyone down. The weight of that is beautiful and haunting. Now, there is one thing that I didn't like about this trailer, and it's something that sticks out like a sore thumb, and that is the scene with Captain Marvel. Because while all the other characters that are well written, well acted, and well designed, while they're going through some form of self-discovery and adjusting to the situation and showing that it is actually difficult for them, Captain Marvel's scene, she is indifferent, smug, arrogant, has this look on her face like, oh, I just lost Nick Fury? Oh, well, okay. What's next? Validate me. Thor is happy to oblige, because in Captain Marvel's scene, she is validated by Thor. That is the only scene that Captain Marvel is in. This pampered, privileged character that nobody likes. And nobody at Disney can seem to figure this out. That having this character who has all the traits of a villain, and you want to portray them as a hero, it's just not going to work. Now, allow me to present to you an option B. If I were working at Disney, this is how I would portray Captain Marvel, and you in the comments let me know if it's better or worse, and you can be honest. I would have a shot of the pager with Captain Marvel's signature on it, like you saw in the movie. I would have a pair of boots walk up to it, and it would pan up to see Captain Marvel, and this would be the miracle here. She'd be looking a bit distraught, almost like she lost a friend, almost like she is cognizant of what's going on, almost like she knows that Nick Fury is dead. Well, as far as she knows, he's dead. So she picks up the pager, she looks at it, maybe with tears in her eyes, maybe showing an actual goddamn human emotion, and then looks off to the horizon, as if to say, I'm going to do something about this. I'm going to help. I'm going to rally the Avengers that are left. Maybe if you actually made her into a character, a human being, maybe then people like myself would like her. But you didn't do that. You didn't do anything like that. You didn't show emotion. You didn't show her finding the pager and just going, yeah, okay, maybe I need to do something about this. This is a big deal. No, you didn't do that. What you did is you had her standing there looking smug, looking, oh, I'm great, all right? Why don't you validate me? And then you have Thor validate her. Because, well, she's an SJW character being played by an SJW actress. So, of course, Validate her. Oh, the world's going to shit and half the population is dead. But sure, validate me. This is insufferable garbage. Now, the trailer, for the most part, is good, but it is missing that element, and you want Captain Marvel in there. I know you do, but you are so stupid that you think that you need to cram Captain Marvel down our throats because men are misogynistic. No, men can be many things, but if you create a female character that is worth liking, shows a little bit of humanity, shows some humility, people will like her. Men and women. Keep the feminist garbage out of it. Keep Brie Larson out of it, because why would you cast somebody who can't emote? Why would you cast somebody in the Avengers who is incapable of showing sadness or contrition or regret? Why would you? SJWs don't know what the word regret means. They double down on everything. They are vile, reprehensible, stupid people. So why would you add that into your mix? It is poison to the MCU. And then you contrast that to the acting of Scarlett Johansson, of Robert Downey Jr., of Chris Evans, of Chris Hemsworth. You add the acting ability of all these people, and they're all showing this weight that has been put on them. And you wonder why people like them but not Captain Marvel. It really is astonishing. You really should have gone with the pager scene. Having her pick it up and look sad, look forlorn. She just lost her friend, lost somebody that she's known for years. I mean, for God's sake, show a bit of humanity. But you can't do that because SJWs don't know how to human. They don't know how to show emotion. They don't know how to show true sadness. These people are the absolute worst. And it is something that's been talked about to no end, but that was the one part of the trailer that stuck out to me above all others. That you have this world going to shit, this team coming together to try to avenge the fallen, and there you have Brie Larson as Captain Marvel being validated by Thor, because of course she is, and having her standing there looking smug. Yeah, look at that smirk. Look at that smirk. That smirk tells me, oh yeah, Nick Fury died, but I mean, aren't I amazing? I'm the strongest, didn't you know? What a detestable character. And you want people to like this person? No, I've said it before. This is a villain. There's no other way that you can look at this. Captain Marvel is a villain. She is smug, arrogant, overconfident in her power, has some self-righteous motivation for being a dick, and just everything that is a villain, Brie Larson has. And she's prone to monologues and likes to hear herself talk. She's a villain. But you could have given her some humanity. You could have allowed her to have a moment mourning Nick Fury, but you won't. I don't know what it is. SJWs do not allow for people to show true contrition and emotion and regret. They just won't allow it. They won't allow Captain Marvel to be a character. No, she's got to be a stereotype. Yeah, half the population is done. Half the population is toast of the universe. But you got to be strong. You got to be brave. You got to be smug. You got to be able to whip out one-liners in the face of just absolute genocide. It's embarrassing. I mean, it really, really is. This is what they want to make the future of their movie, and they don't have a single clue. Now, what I offered was a Band-Aid. You need a new actress. But me showing Captain Marvel as a human being, somebody who understands the weight of loss and has to go through something in the movie where she actually feels something, where she actually demonstrates that she cares and gives a shit about Nick Fury, her friend for years, somebody who showed her the rope and somebody who she was allied with. I mean, you could have done something to have Captain Marvel in the trailer to make her feel part of it, but you didn't. You tacked her on, you made her as unlikable as possible, made her as smug and indifferent as you could, and then you wonder why people like myself make videos like these. It's because she is a poison to the MCU. You would be wise to kill her off in Endgame, fire Brie Larson, find a new actress, make Monica Rambeau Captain Marvel, do a new Captain Marvel movie, and have that be the legacy going forward. But you're not going to do that. You are going to continue to poison yourself because you are high on your own virtue. Kevin Feige has been apparently given the memo. We're no longer in the business of making successful movies. Now we want to make propaganda films. Now we want to tell the world how to live. It's just absolutely embarrassing and ridiculous. So ladies and gentlemen, I am pumped to see Avengers Endgame. I think the trailer did a fantastic job, but that part with Captain Marvel, it really stands out because it is such a contrast to the other characters that we know and love, both male and female. I didn't even mention all the characters vanished. I mean, Spider-Man's gone. Star-Lord's gone. Drax is gone. I could go through the list. These characters are dead. And having one of the characters be like, oh, hey, yeah, I know that everyone's dead, but look at me. It's just, it's very off-putting. Do you not understand that? It's very, very off-putting. You look at that and you go, wow, that is just, to be smug at that moment is not the time. This is not the Daily Show. You don't just get to be smug and indifferent and an idiot at every opportunity. You have to actually show some genuine emotion. You're not just dealing with dumb college dropouts who are smoking pot. You actually have to show that there is a range and a depth to the character and the actress. That's the purpose of this movie. If you were ever going to make Brie Larson shine as Captain Marvel, now would have been the time. So for the next trailer, if you want to do something actually good, although I don't know what footage you have of Brie Larson, I don't know how much you actually have, but if you wanted to show her and make her a likable character, let her show a goddamn emotion. Let her show where she came from. Stop with the feminist goddamn propaganda that is disgusting and despicable and just based on pure lies, and make something that people actually want to see. And if you do that, people will support you. I will support you. Instead of making videos that has to analyze your continual mistakes with a character that is not popular and does not sell. And by the way, I know that people are talking about the $914 million for Captain Marvel the movie. You notice that they never talk about the Captain Marvel comic book and how poorly that sells? Do you know how many comic books were shipped, not sold, but shipped in February of 2019 for Captain Marvel? Just over 30,000. 30,000 of a comic book about a character with an upcoming movie. If ever there was a demonstration that SJWs don't care about comics and don't care about Captain Marvel, there it is. They care solely about the propaganda, and they know that the movie gets a far wider reach than the comic books, which is exactly why they care about it and not the comic. They don't give a shit about the comic. The comic, they say, well, we don't really care if you're a fan or not. You're probably a Nazi, so we don't want you reading our work anyway. These people are despicable, and they will ruin your franchise if you allow them, which is why it's all the more important to continue to talk about this and bring it up. The trailer was a mistake. They could fix it in the movie, they could fix it in another trailer, but this is the current state of things as it is. Captain Marvel is a tacked-on sore thumb that is smug and indifferent and cannot emote and has to be validated at every moment, which is in complete contrast to every other character and every other scene in that trailer, where somebody is suffering, going through something deep, going through something emotional, and they're trying to remain strong and come out the other side. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's where I'm going to end things here. I am going to see Avengers Endgame, and I am going to do a review for the channel. So, have that to look forward to. I'm going to be absolutely honest and open. If I loved it, if I loved every scene in it, I will say that. If I didn't, I will say that. I'm not going to be bought and paid for. I'm not going to be wined and dined. I'm going to give you the honest to God's truth the way that I see it. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you listening. Thank you for supporting the channel, and I will see you next time.